Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Joe, and welcome to the Inside Our Phillies podcast. Phillies are coming off of an 8-2 win over the Los Angeles Dodgers, and here to talk about it, we have Jeremy, SJ Phil's fan. How's it going, man?
It's going a lot better than the past few days of games. So we got this. One more, then we're back home.
The Phillies are alive. Before I get started, I want to apologize if anybody hears any road noise. We originally started to try to record this when I was in the parking lot of Dodger Stadium. That really did not work, and now I'm driving on Sunset Boulevard, and hopefully this works out better. Um, but the first thing I wanted to ask you about, SJ, is, the big discussion point going into this game was number one, the Phillies pitching plan. Like, what did you think about the plan of going to Aaron Nola for a couple innings and then switching over to Ranger Suarez? Like, what was your pregame thought about that idea?
Well, it was infuriating because why wasn't Ranger used in game one? And we would have won that game instead of using Robertson out for that extra inning. It's just baffling Thompson's decisions. And like we don't use Ranger in relief in game one, so he could start fully fine in game three, but then you just use him in game three in relief anyway. So he could have come in relief in game one, no problem. It just makes no sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all. And what did you think about, like, I think a lot of people were surprised by seeing Nick Castellanos hitting eighth in the lineup today. What was your thought about that when the lineup came out?
You gotta, I mean, you gotta stick him somewhere. You can't hit him ninth because that's the speediness is great for the turn the lineup over. So yeah, you gotta stick Castellanos in eighth. He's basically before the DH, eighth was the worst hitter.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. So now that we kind of are done with the pregame stuff, let's go early in the game. Let's start with Aaron Nola, who pitched only 2 innings, but I think he showed so much heart in those 2 innings, and he reminded me of why, for a long he's been one of it. Well, what did you think about Aaron Nola's start?
He is cracked as he is jacked. But yeah, he looked fine. The triple wasn't his fault. Marsh dove when he could have made a single, and Castellanos walked to get the ball when it and then sprinted once he realized, oh crap, you're not even sprinted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Marsh should never have dove for the ball, and that was like the cardinal sin of the whole thing that let everything else go wrong. But if Castellanos was doing more than just a leisurely stroll to get to the ball, it still wouldn't have ended up as a triple. Betts is not, the most fleet of foot right now. And it was very concerning to see that happen so early in the game, especially with Aaron Nola's history of, with runners on base and how we can handle that. I thought we were going to be seeing like a 3 or 4 spot in that first inning and then kind of just have the rest of the game be a waste of time. But thankfully that didn't happen tonight.
Yeah, no, it was a 5D chess. Maybe Betts now is hurt. We don't know about it because he had to run that hard. You never know.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. Um, next thing that I want to get into is that Schwarber home run. I mean, from my position in the stands, there was no way that that was 455 feet. I've gone to Dodger Stadium more than any baseball stadium that's not Citizens Bank Park, and I have never seen a ball go to the concourse like that in the outfield in person at Dodger Stadium. That must have been at least 470.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was I saw that fly, and I thought that was 470 also, which just begs the question if that's like 455 with the calculations. I don't believe anything about like, what did Mantle say they hit it like 500 plus feet? Like I don't believe any of that.
I mean, all that stuff's kind of crazy from back in the day, but like the calculations, right? Like I know it takes in like the, launch angle and the exit velocity and the wind, but there's so many factors that make up how far a baseball goes, and there's just no way it's as accurate as MLB portrays it. I mean, especially in the home run derby when we had like, it was less than like, a millimeter that they used to determine who won the tiebreaker.
Yeah. It's whatever. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We like massive dongs. We love watching them. We love shore bombs. It was a shore bomb.
It was. I mean, the Phillies have only hit 2 home runs since that game where they hit the 8 home runs and set their club record. They were in a major power drought. But that drought ended today. It all started with the production that they had off of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. What did you think about the Phillies' game plan against him and how they were able to execute it?
Uh, well, the first 3 innings, it went not well. They were no hit. I thought we were gonna get no hit, but then after Schwarber went off on him, uh, they must have picked something up with his fastball because they were just teeing off on it.
Yeah, it was kind of like the floodgates opened. I do think they were kind of working towards that, even in the first few innings. Even in the first inning, boom, scorched the ball. At that point in time, it was probably the hardest hit ball of the series for the Phillies. JT Realmuto had some good swings on him early. Brandon Marsh did. There were always signs that the Phillies were going to get to him, but I'm not going to lie, it caught me completely off guard. I think Yamamoto's a really good pitcher, and I was terrified having to go against him heading into this game. I mean, this was really good work by the offense against him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you texted right before, the 3rd inning, just like, "I don't think they're far off. They're making good contact." So you were right.
Sometimes all you got to do is open the floodgates, and maybe Schwarber was able to get a tell. I feel like other teams are always getting telled and taking the signs of the Phillies, but it never works the other way, and maybe it did today.
I mean, there's taking signs, and then there's Strom just showing his entire arsenal. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good point. But I think the main discussion point that people are going to have after this game is Ranger Suarez, because here's the guy that people were begging to be used in game 1 or game 2. Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? What's going on? Nobody really knew. And bam, 5 innings, 1 run ball against probably the best lineup in Major League Baseball. What did you think of Ranger Suarez? How did he look on TV?
oh, yeah, he looked fine. I mean, it was just hilarious. The first pitch was the home run. After that, yeah, he had, like, one bad inning where he gave up a single, then a walk, but, yeah, he looked like Ranger.
Yeah.
Good
I
plan.
was I was worried after that Edmund home run, because early in the game when kind of battling back and forth trying to stay alive, I was under the impression that whoever scored first was going to kind of seize the momentum and carry it to a win. And I thought we were done for after Edmund hit that home run. But Branger really was able to settle down, especially Otani. I mean, he just completely took Shohei Otani out of the game.
I don't know, I mean, you called this a long, like, at least a month or so ago. The Otani does not hit the Phillies.
No, no, his first home run ever against the Phillies was in Los Angeles like 3 weeks ago. He, for whatever reason, the Phillies might have something figured out. Maybe he is been just bad matchups for him. But he just does not hit the Phillies well.
And now we just cursed it. Now he's going to go off tomorrow. Uh,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. This is an interesting part of the series, and something that I think matters a lot is that the Phillies were able to save quite a bit of their bullpen thanks to the insurance runs that they were able to get. All of a sudden, you're going to have your big arms available for the game tomorrow. It's the only time this series that you're going to have back-to-back games, and they're going to have Duran available. They're going to have Strom available. Christopher Sanchez is starting. The pitching is looking like it's in a good spot.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, I still wish, like, we did not need to carry Taiwan Walker and Walker Bueller on this roster. We could have had another uh, bench player, which made a huge since Bader's out, and they still should have made a move when Bader got. But you take someone off now, they can't pitch the next series. But I would make that move now. Taiwan pitched. He's done. Don't let him pitch the rest of the. If we make it to the World Series, fine. Taiwan coming back.
I mean, if we make it to the World Series, that's enough to have a parade going down Broad Street by itself, because things 2 days ago felt so dead, but they cannot feel more alive right now. I get that there's a lot of stuff that happened in this game, but the big takeaway that I have from this is the Phillies are so alive. Tomorrow, Christopher Sanchez versus Tyler Glasnow. You have to think that's in the Phillies' favor, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yes, Sanchez is the beast. They just have to be aware. Kike Hernandez, you have to pitch him differently in the playoffs, and it's just ah.
I mean, that bloop that Kike had earlier in the game, midway through the game today, I was like, this is typical Kike Hernandez. Things are going to unravel. Up until they brought Kershaw out for the second inning, I was like, the Dodgers are going to win, then terrified. But as soon as they brought Kershaw in for the second inning, I was like, they're selling, they're giving up the game, and the Dodgers are playing for tomorrow at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean, because Kershaw didn't get 3 outs in that first inning. The Phillies got 3 outs in that inning.
Yeah,
he, I think he threw like 3 pitches in the strike zone that entire inning.
yeah. I mean, how crazy is it too that we're at the point where like Clayton Kershaw is the guy that we want to see in the game? It's just,
I mean,
for
I mean, I
somebody that,
feel that's been everyone. I'm just like, please let the Kershaw playoff problem still exist. And I mean, it's totally different now. He was throwing 91. It's not the same as then.
yeah,
But they left him out there to die. They were like, uh,
I was surprised they didn't put a position player in the ninth inning. I thought we were going to see KK pitch in the playoffs. Ninth inning, honestly.
I think MLB would have been pissed if they like you actively throw away a game in the playoffs unless it's like 20 runs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I get that you're right. And honestly, I mean, the Dodgers are in such an interesting place in this series because like their actual bullpen, those are not the guys that they want to go to at all. You mentioned earlier to me talking that Tanner Scott apparently wasn't even at the ballpark today. Not that the Dodgers probably would have went to him anyways, but like all the guys you're worried about the Dodgers putting in the game are just more of their starting pitchers. Like it's so strange.
Yeah, no, yeah. So they really didn't have anyone. Like, because Glasnow's going tomorrow, and so they really don't have a choice. Yeah, that so which is good. Like good if we can just like get Glasnow's pitch count up and get him out of there. Definitely tomorrow is we got it going.
Yeah,
And just and
absolutely.
just like I'll just and just a random tidbit back. For reference to the home run length and stuff, Matt Stairs in '08 was 415 feet.
415, is that what you said?
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. No way. But let's get into some listener questions. Can you go through our podcast channel since I'm driving and kind of go through the questions here?
Fine, make me do everything. Okay.
Hey,
Let's see. Okay. Oh God. Whoa. I'm not used to having this many.
it's also a
Okay.
discussion channel now, so we have more than just questions in there. So you might have to filter
I
through
know.
some
Yeah.
stuff.
Geez. I take like a week off for personal reasons and everything. Just okay. Why does Rob like to see that bunting? And that is yelling from Met Suck.
Oh my god! I mean, how hilarious was it that during Stott's first at bat, or the bat later in the game? Well, not I guess multiple times we saw bunts. First at bat of the game, Trey Turner tried to bunt. Second inning, another bunt attempt. Bryson Stott put down a bunt. They got a runner over to third this game. I mean, it's just it's. I think there's still a lot of questions about how Rob Thompson is managing games. I feel like today was almost more lucky than anything that the whole Nola thing worked out, and then that the bunting worked out. It was just weird.
Oh yeah. I mean, like the extra 2 runs happened because Harper took a dumb shot to go to third, should have been thrown out, but Muncy whiffed the ball, ends up going into the stands. He scores, bummed to third, and Marsh hits a sac fly. That's how we got those 2 extra runs. There was no, we wouldn't have scored if it wasn't for that.
Yeah. I mean, the Phillies always try to take those extra bases when they're running, and sometimes it works out. Other times it
Usually it
doesn't.
doesn't.
Usually it doesn't.
Yeah,
That's a great
yeah.
point. What's the next one that we got?
Okay, another one from Metstuck. He asked specifically for you. Will you apologize to Bohm after the single in the running?
I mean, Bowman had a good game, right? 2 walks, 2 hits, solid enough defensively. At the very least, for everything that I say negatively about Alec Bohm, he is generally somebody that I trust to get the bat on the ball. And if you're in a position where you got a runner on third and like 1 out, there's probably not too many people on the team I'd rather have up than Alec Bohm. Makes me feel disgusting to be praising him, but here I am. Enjoy it while you get it.
All right, I'll bring it back down to earth. That pitch was so far inside; it was almost in his batter box with him. it was that was just put the ball in play. Shit happens, which is a good thing. Which usually is good because, but I don't give him the credit. That was just pure luck.
That's the stuff you can't tell when you're at the game. You can tell the vibe. You can get like a sense of what's going on, but those kind of more niche details, you miss out on some of
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
but if,
I was shocked they went up. That I was like, I thought this for sure that was gonna be a double play ball. All right, uh, okay, here we go. Philly fanatic asks, Uh, what do you make of the Phillies' inconsistent offense approach? And as we see in the top of the fourth and top of the fifth, what is the solution? In my important note, that here is that two of the outs were Schwarber and Harper are missing up what they did were unable to do in the first two games. What do I make of it? It's the same shit. They are so inconsistent. Harper is pressing so much right now, it is unbelievable. Specifically, uh, in the Kershaw's first inning, Kershaw couldn't throw a strike. Harper swings and misses at one outside, and then swings at a pitch. I forget it was inside or outside, but it flies out lazily. It would have been another run.
Yeah, I mean, however weird it is to say, like Harper's one of the guys that I personally trust least in this lineup right now. Like he like you said, is pressing so hard and he gets himself out early in at bats. So some of the first pitches he swings at are good pitches to swing at. Um, but he is a problem, and I think if he got one extra base hit tonight, I think that would have done a lot just to kind of reset him emotionally and get him centered on what's going to be a really important game for tomorrow.
Yeah, I do I in general hate first pitch swinging, and it just we cannot be doing it, especially when the pitchers are not throwing strikes. Like,
It's
ah,
been the trend of the year for Harper, right? Like I know there was a lot of talk that during the regular season it was all a long con, so that people would try to get him in the playoffs and to be able to take it and get up 1-0 in the count. But he's swinging in the playoffs, swinging early in counts and kind of forcing himself into outs sometimes.
yeah, I know,
What I
yeah, yeah, I'm yeah, but then I look at I look at the stats from this year, and he was hitting 406 when he swings on the first pitch in the season. Like,
So strange. But about the offensive approach, what I want to see tomorrow, really, I mean, there's been a very inconsistent offensive approach throughout the series so far, but tomorrow, the Phillies need to lock in on just taking pitches. In game one, Glass now in that second inning looked really rough. He's kind of coming back from injury still. His stamina's not all there. Make Glass now work and get him out of the game early so we see more of this Dodger bullpen. Even if it's Roki Sasaki and Emmett Sheehan and all them, just get Glass now out of the game, because at some point the Dodger middle relievers are going to have to throw a couple innings and tee off on them.
oh yeah, I mean, and Roki wasn't impressive in game two. Like you just had Castellanos being a terrible baseball player, and that was the reason why. And freaking Thompson saying he played for the tie when we were nobody out, bottom of the ninth, down by one at home. What?
People are overrating Roki Sasaki a little bit right now. He is probably going to be a really good pitcher in a few years, but he's clearly figuring out so much, and he struggled in the regular season before he got hurt, and then he just came back. He is undeniably electric stuff, but I think people are kind of taking a little bit too far when they're saying that he's some shutdown, lockdown closer that you have to fear in the ninth inning of a playoff game.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, like the stuff is there. It's just he doesn't have the consistency yet. So yeah, 1 or 2 years, I'm sure I'll figure. Yeah, but like I'm not afraid of him right now.
Yeah, absolutely. What's next?
Okay. And I also met Suckle, so he wants. I missed that. He wanted him fired tonight. Deliver him on the plane home. Buy him a first class in American and send his ass back to Philly. back to, and then Costa Chris Carton him back to Canada. Okay. Uh. Okay. Joe, be honest. Did you think in the stands that the Otani ball to end the seventh was gone?
Yeah, I thought that one was gone. I also thought the Otani one was gone. That ended up being to the warning track. I definitely thought that Otani one was gone.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what. He does.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's what he's asking.
oh, the Otani one. That's what he's asking. Yeah, I thought he was asking about like the JT one. But yeah, no, I thought that Otani one was like 10 rows deep. Honestly, usually I have a pretty good sense. I base things on the sound more than I am on the sight. But that ball just seemed to get hit really hard, and I think the Phillies got fortunate that it was a little bit of a higher launch angle, and some of the length got taken away into the height of the arc of that baseball.
Yeah, yeah. The way he swung, I thought for sure it was gonna be like a fly ball at the warning track. I was like, they kept going. I was like, oh god, oh god. But
Yeah, and that was before we could fully like unclench and just kind of relax like we could in the last couple innings of that game. Like if that was a home run, all of a sudden we're in another high stress situation.
yeah. Next question by depressed Phillies fan. You went to the game?
I did go to the game. I will be there again tomorrow. I think I bring good luck to the Phillies in Los Angeles. The series 3 weeks ago, I was at the 2 wins, and then I decided to not go to the game that the Phillies lost. So I'm making the right choices, and I'm going to be making the choice to go tomorrow as well. So we'll see what happens, and if I can extend my Phillies winning streak here in Dodger Stadium.
Yeah,
Have you been to Dodger Stadium before?
no, I haven't.
Oh, you got to make it out. It is, it's such a nice place to watch a baseball game. Every game in Dodger Stadium feels more important than it really is. And obviously, this is actually a very important game in the postseason. But it just has the aura, as the kids would say.
Yeah, next question. BRX, yeah, BRX asks, what were your ups and downs about tonight's game? The offense was doing the same shit they always do, leaving men in runner scoring position. Turner, I laughed so hard when Turner baited Forber to get thrown out at first. uh, that was pretty funny. And then
Yeah,
then Marsh getting the the big spot, getting taking it sweet time, getting to the best box, getting automatic strike. Great stuff when you're supposed to be locked in.
yeah. I have a lot of pros and cons. So if we if we have time to go through these, let's go through some of these. I think this is a really good question. Let's start positive first. Number one positive thing, I alluded to this earlier, but the Phillies have their whole bullpen that they trust, minus Orion Kirkring, available to them tomorrow in a Christopher Sanchez start. You could not ask for more, and the fact that they were able to avoid going to Duran in the eighth inning is massive going into the back-to-back game tomorrow. What do you think about that?
Like, yeah, that's why I thought it was so not worth it unless there was trouble to I don't like he should not have would even close to coming out in the eighth unless someone one runner was on. I was just there had to be like we're not going to win if we can't get anyone else out. So I
Yeah, I mean, you got to take it one game at a time, right? Like you got to win today to
oh
play tomorrow. But I
I know,
mean,
but I've seen it so many times in the postseason when you use the closer like that, it just comes back to bite you. Yeah.
you just cut out on
Uh,
my end. Can you say that again?
yeah, no, it's just I've seen that so many times in the playoffs where you use the closers like that in these kind of situations, and it just comes back to bite you like no other.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like you can't like playoff games are different and you have to manage them differently, but you can't put people into positions that they've never been in before. And Duran, to his credit, he had a lot of 6 out saves with the Twins, but as a Philly, he never had an up down. So, I would have been apprehensive to have him pitch the eighth and the ninth. I probably would have still done it because he has the history of doing it. But yeah, one of the big negatives, I mean, Nick Castellanos had a terrible game, and he's hitting eighth. It's not that big of a deal. Defensively, he had terrible backup for Marsh early on. He made like insane route to the ball in the second inning that I had serious questions on if he was going to catch a routine fly ball. He looked hapless at the plate for the most part. I mean, Nick Castellanos is just a severe black hole on this team in every way right now.
I mean, like I wasn't watching at that point. I was driving during that catch, but Fransky said he lost the ball in the twilight, so I'll give him a little bit of a leeway on that one.
Yeah, there was no sun out at that point. It was darker than it was, so maybe he caught it in the light or something like that. But the sun was more set than it was up at that point in the game. But I get it. I mean, one other negative. Let's just get the other negative out of the way. The base running today was insane. Like, the base running today
Oh
was
my,
completely off the rails.
I mean, it's been bad the whole series. How many times have we guys seen you guys get throw dumb steals? Like, yeah,
People are not going to care as much because they won the game and they made it look silly at the end. But like the Phillies
yeah,
make insane decisions running the bases, and it's just at some point gonna hurt them in a big game. It already has, but
yeah. I mean, on the double steal. Well, I mean, what happened first was Harper going first to third. And so you always want to, you do have to force the fielders to make the play, and so bad things said, but that throw was on the money. Muncy whiffed it. Harper scores, goes to the dugout, and then later on the double steal, a good tag gets Stott.
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, no, the Phillies did it's what you want. You want them to force to make the plays and screw up, but the Dodgers aren't the Yankees. They're not going to make up as many mistakes as they would.
Except for like Max Muncy defensively. I mean, that guy might just be a butcher at third base now.
Oh yeah, my God, I honestly don't think I've seen like an actually bad third baseman like that in a long time.
Alec Bohm.
But but like Bohm didn't have those. His was the throwing and the footwork, not
Right.
literally like you. Yeah,
No, you're right. He doesn't, fuck up ground balls that are hit to him. His range is questionable, throws are questionable, but you're spot on there. Um, one other big positive that I want to call out: if Kyle Schwarber can just go on a little bit of a hot streak right now, Dodgers need to watch out. 2 home runs today. Maybe you have to fear him a little bit. I had written off Kyle Schwarber for this series completely. He just looked completely hopeless. But with there being hope now with Kyle Schwarber again, it deepens the lineup. It gives you a major threat up there at the left side, and it changes the complexion completely of the offense.
I mean, he wasn't completely hopeless. I forgot what it was. Like might have been game one where he like hit a ball that was like jammed at him, but it went to the wall. So he almost had a home run earlier in the series.
But I mean, 2 home runs. I mean, especially the one that was quote unquote 455 feet. I feel a whole lot better about him than I felt before. Um, I don't know. Those are, I think, the major pros and cons. I could go on and on and on, but I want to make sure we give the time for everybody else's questions as well. So, do you have any other big ones that you want to get to?
Yeah, just Mets suck. Just since he provided, let's just keep going. Easy one. Do you agree with Taiwan to start the ninth? Yes, we're up that big. I was pretty hopeful that he would be able to get 3 outs before 7 runs scored.
I would have done
And
Walker
then
Bueller just because it would have been funny.
yeah, yeah, probably yeah. But I want, but I'd rather have Walker Bueller available because his velocity in a tighter situation is more likely something better happen than freaking Town Walker throwing slop.
And if Walker
Depressed
Bueller's
Phillies
coming
fan,
into a high pressure situation, we have problems.
yes. Yeah, like, depressed Phillies fan, does Bader start tomorrow if he feels better? I mean, yeah, yeah. Uh, I mean, I'm sorry, but yeah, if he feels fine, he's starting. That's I don't know. I don't understand the point of my question, but he is not going to feel fine. He can't run.
No,
And
I mean,
uh, oh my God, like yeah. So Frinsky and Stalker were talking about they were like okay, don't we have pitchers that come in the bases? And apparently, heaven forbid, it would be Luzardo was like the best one to run.
okay.
Uh,
I mean, that would be interesting. I mean, I think that would be fun to consider. I missed pitchers running the bases, um, but about Harrison Bader, I think other than what we saw in game two, just pinch hitting and then immediately getting taken out or walking the bases, um, I've pretty much completely written him off for this series. It's like kind of gone back and forth on if it's like a hamstring thing or a groin strain. But either way, it's gonna take weeks for him to get better, probably. And maybe even if he rushes back, I wouldn't expect him to be playing the field anytime soon.
All right, okay. Here's a question I thought I have that text you. Like, aren't you glad that Kepler had 2 weeks of looking at below average, so we didn't release him and bring up Crawford?
Yeah, I mean Kepler right now, like it's sneaky from the 7 spot. Like I am kind of starting to like Max Kepler. He's a capable right fielder and a capable left fielder. Maybe not great at either, but he'll get the job done a whole lot better than Castellanos, Wilson, Kemp, that suite of guys. And hitting the ball, he isn't a zero. He can hit a double from time to time. He can work in at bat. Kepler's fine.
Yeah, I don't know, but like some part of me wants to see the timeline where Crawford came up and was energetic and everything. And then,
Yeah.
uh, all right, skip that one. Sorry, Med, like you asked too many questions. All right, Kyle Schwarber's bat. How proud of the shot is going to be tomorrow?
Shadows. Okay, so I can give some real expertise on this because, like I said, Dodger Stadium is the stadium I've been to the most, aside from Citizens Bank Park. Shadows, they're really not that bad. We got a 3 o'clock local start. Sun's still going to be pretty up. The sun at Dodger Stadium sets over like the third base side of the stadium. But it's kind of an older style stadium, like more of like a bowl rather than like distinct levels. So you're gonna have some shadows, but I would not expect them to be the kind that they can be at Citizens Bank Park, where like it cuts off halfway to home plate. It's just not really the way that shadows work at Dodger Stadium most of the time.
Yeah, well, good. Uh, let's let's bring it down. Let's go, 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 go.
What's next? This is good. We got a lot of questions. It's fun when you have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I mean, that was. Go back to the final. Go back to MedTech. If we do this tomorrow, should we go with powder blue Saturday home? Answer is yes. Don't wash them. Keep them going.
Oh yeah, actually, that was going to be like my last point that I wanted to make on the podcast, but I'll get to it now. Phillies, if they win tomorrow, they got to wear the powder blues on Game 5. If they win Game 5, like wear the powder blues until somebody tells you can't. Every single game, make it a thing. This is the powder blue year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're beautiful. I can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go down, you might as well go down, looking
Final.
good, I guess.
Yep, and most importantly, we are not the first team eliminated, and we're not the team that we are not the only team that would have been swept.
That would have been painful to get swept. Would have been painful to get eliminated. And at the end of the day, like it's just nice to feel a little bit of that playoff excitement. Like if they got swept out, it just would have been sad. It would have been a sad way to have this group of Phillies kind of end it and die off. And I'm glad that we have one more day with them. At least one more day with them.
Yep, yep. They're just like being dramatic. It's good.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you there. Um, and like we were kind of talking about earlier in the show, one more thing I wanted to bring up. This series all of a sudden is wide open. Christopher Sanchez versus Tyler Glasnow is a pitching matchup you should be able to win, especially with Glasnow coming off of an injury that he's had for a while. If you win that, you go back to Citizens Bank Park, which can be a tight place to play, but I think the fans would be thrilled to get the Phillies back. Jesus Luzardo pitching at home against Shohei Ohtani, but again, it's still Jesus Luzardo pitching at home. All you have to do is win a Christopher Sanchez start and win a Jesus Luzardo home start, and you're free, and you move on to the NLCS. The light at the end of the tunnel is now visible when I didn't necessarily feel that way 2 days ago.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let's be fair. We lost game 2 by 1 run when Thompson's shenanigans. We probably would have won. And then it's in game one also, like Thompson's shenanigans with his pitching decisions. We would have, if he just stuck to his plan that he said, we would have won.
Hey, the Phillies are winning the series in run differential.
Yay.
So
Yay.
I got a question for you, okay? When was the last time before today that the Phillies won an elimination game? Do you remember?
Oh, okay. Let me think about it. Elimination. Um, was it 09?
It was not '09.
Was it before 09?
Was it?
Oh, wait. Do you not do you know the answer?
I do know the answer.
Oh, yeah. So was it before 09?
I don't know. It's a question for you. If you get completely
Uh,
off base, then I'll
okay.
I'll I'll answer it.
Well, I mean,
But
okay. Well, it's either 09 or 93.
both of those are wrong.
What was it? 86?
It was not. You're going the wrong way. It was Game 5 of the NLCS in 2010 in San Francisco.
Oh. Huh.
Weird
Wow. I
game.
thought.
Nobody really thinks about that game, honestly. But yeah, the Phillies were at an elimination game in San Francisco. Then
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
against
right. That's from that. Yeah, that's when Halliday tore his groin, right?
it was Halliday Lincecum. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Halliday got hurt like the first inning and pitched his way through like 5 innings, I think.
yeah, incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. And then obviously they lost Well, they went back home to Citizens Bank
Yep,
Park, which hopefully is
yep,
not how
yep.
this series is going to end. But
Yeah, and then Ryan Madson threw his terrible cutter to Juan Uribe. Ugh.
well, we do not want those bad vibes at all right now. We are good vibes only today. So I'm going to ask you the
Yes.
same question that I asked in the last episode. What are the chances that the Phillies win this series?
Yeah, I mean, 50-50. Either they do or don't.
I don't think that's far off, right? Like I feel like
I
if
know,
you
I
look
know.
at the betting odds right now, it's probably saying something around 25%. I feel like it's a little higher. I'd
I mean,
probably buy at
they were
25%.
they didn't get crushed in the first 2 games, so, like, they're not being overmatched. They they're
No.
they're they're not yeah, so it's just frustrating that the offense was doing their shit, that, like, the problems that, like, I've been complaining about all year long with Strom's velocity being garbage, came into exactly the problem what I said would happen in the postseason. Exactly what happened. I drew it up to a T. I've been saying this for months. uh, but
I'm at
yeah,
like a
I mean,
35 or 40% chance that they win this series. I think there's
yeah, I'm
a real chance.
yeah.
Cool. Well, anything else that you wanted to get to? Any last comments before we finished up the episode today, SJ?
I'm just trying to think of anything. Have I missed any rants that I haven't been able to give the past couple games? Uh,
Well, this is positive vibes now. If you
okay,
wanted to
fine,
talk
fine, fine, fine.
negativity,
Fine.
we
Yeah,
had
fine, fine, fine. Yeah, it's fair, 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 fair. No, we got this. Just please, more than 10 pitches in the first inning. That's all I ask.
oh man, Glass now like Glass now to me is somebody that if you get him off his game, he can get off in a jiffy, and you can just kind of tee off on him in the same way that the Phillies teed off of Kershaw today. Like just get good production early, and he's gonna have like a 30 pitch inning where the Phillies score 4 runs, and we can just sit back, relax, and enjoy watching Christopher Sanchez. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for being on today, Jeremy, and thank you everybody for listening, and especially for all of the great questions that we got in the podcast channel. If you're not a part of our Discord server, you can join it with the link in the show notes. It's also linked to our subreddit r/Phillies, and we have a podcast channel in the Discord server, and you can ask your questions there, and we'll get to them in the next episode. We will see if we're going to be as happy tomorrow on cloud nine, or if tomorrow is going to be us depressed. But time will tell, and we are so close. So thank you everybody so much for listening, and we will talk to you real soon.
Bye.